Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, RK-Bro. They were one of the biggest what-if stories to come out of WWE in the past few years. What if they were still together? What it could have been. They were so good, such a perfect odd couple paired together. It shouldn't have been as good as it was, but it didn't get to be everything it could have been. Let's get into it. Sportskeeda Wrestling, I'm Kevin. Let us know what you think of RK-Bro and how it should have gone in the comments below. Odd pairings are nothing new in WWE. RK-Bro wasn't the first and they weren't the last. Look at, Rock and Sock Connection. This may be a modern day version of that, but for a brief time that they had together, almost everything went perfectly until it didn't. A large part of why their pairing worked out so well is because they were in very interesting places in their separate solo careers in WWE. Matt Riddle was a relative newcomer and off of a United States Championship loss, storming into WWE just a few years earlier and having a big splash in NXT. Randy Orton just finished his second underwhelming feud with Bray Wyatt. Yeah, that WrestleMania match he had wasn't that great, but he's still Randy Orton, stacking those world titles up and maybe, breaking a record in the future. Maybe that's a different video. Orton was kind of lost in the shuffle, which is weird to do with Randy Orton. When Matt Riddle approached him and their story began, it proved to be a perfect opportunity for a career renaissance for the Viper, who had been around a whopping 19 years compared to Riddle's 1 year on the main roster. WWE television improved quite a bit after WrestleMania 37 around that time, and even though no crowds were present, the RK-Bro dynamic quickly captured the interest of fans watching. It was a very unique way to bring out the character of both, head in the clouds, stoner wrestler Matt Riddle, and so serious Randy Orton. WWE did a good job of slow burning the momentum and formation of the team, not making it something that was so clear and obvious right away. Even when Orton agreed to start teaming with Matt, he was a bit reluctant. Yeah, and he began to show comedic elements of his character that we really had only seen now and then, and not that consistently throughout his soon-to-be Hall of Fame career. Fans were always used to watching a more serious, in his own thing, stone-cold killer Viper who tries to take out everybody with the big RKO. And after that, the storyline with The Fiend was so over the top and maybe a little bit too serious, it was kind of a breath of fresh air. Levity, if you will. It became clear that this would be a win-win type of situation, allowing Randy Orton to do something different, and for Matt Riddle to do the thing he was pretty good at, playing a lovable goofball who suplexes people. They began to play off of each other and even used each other's finishers in back-to-back matches against Xavier Woods on Raw. Although some speculated that Orton's injury before Money in the Bank would be detrimental to this developing story, it actually helped extend it without any effort. Although it was just 7 weeks, they picked up right where they left off, with Orton returning, giving us this incredible moment where Riddle managed to hug it out with the Viper. It was a little less surprising when the hug was followed up with an RKO. Yeah, don't hug me, bro. Don't hug me. Yes, lovable Riddle really wanted Randy Orton to be his bro, but even still, the RKO that Orton hit Riddle on seemed to be his own weird way of showing gratitude. Yeah, I'm very grateful. Let me plant you on your face into the mat. Within only 12 days of that face plant into the ring, they would end up winning the Raw Tag Team titles together by beating AJ Styles and the gigantic Omos. Once again, the timing was perfect because crowds had literally only returned the previous month following the end of pandemic restrictions, and they were suddenly the hottest act in the mid-card of WWE. It was all clicking, especially once they had those Raw Tag Team titles. The little brother bothers the big brother dynamic played out so well. Oh yeah, and they could also go bell to bell. The little brother bothers the big brother dynamic continued, and they had so many awesome moments together. Whether it was Riddle entering Crown Jewel on a freaking camel, with Randy Orton looking just befuddled by it, or their amazing champion versus champion match where they defeated the Usos at Survivor Series. Yeah, they beat the Usos. Those two moments alone happened within just a few weeks of each other. But it doesn't do justice to how awesome they were or how popular they were With WWE fans, it's not often that a duo of two really defined single stars becomes a popular act as a tag team like this. It was a bit shocking when they lost the Raw tag team titles to the Alpha Academy in early 2022, but they quickly regained it a couple of months later and went on to successfully defend those titles, their first and sadly only WrestleMania moment together. It almost felt like it was all too good to be true because everything would change after that. It began when RK Bro got challenged by the Usos to unify the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships in the aftermath of Roman unifying the WWE and Universal Championships. That's right, Roro can't have his cousins not also having double belt duty. The match was teased and anticipated for quite some time. It was scheduled for the Backlash Premium event before being changed into a 6-man tag team match where Roman Reigns and the Usos, the Bloodline, would defeat RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. They did eventually get back to that unification match on SmackDown, and RK Bro lost in tragic, devastating fashion before it was later announced that Randy Orton would be out of action indefinitely with a serious injury that was going to require surgery and maybe a lengthy rehab, some feeling that possibly it could alter his career in a very big way. All those years on the road with Randy Orton taking the toils and damage of a pro wrestler were something that truly had added up. And it's something he admitted he had wished he changed with the way he delivers his RKO finisher. It caused serious damage to his back. Matt Riddle managed to have a pretty fruitful singles career, but his personal issues outside of the ring got the better of him in September of 2023, when just 2 months before Randy Orton's return, he was released by WWE. It's a shame because even Matt Riddle has admitted that Randy Orton was a huge supporter of him, from the tumultuous time in his life to his successes in the ring when he was going through a divorce. He was still able to be successful and saw his wife and his family life completely change. Balancing that is pretty hard. Riddle described Orton as a real-life brother to him, and someone who will have a spot in his heart forever. It's really a wholesome moment when you consider it. But if that doesn't sum up the progress and maturity that humans go through over the years in the very daunting and emotionally draining world that is WWE, we hope that others get to experience these type of bonds together. Even Randy Orton only had nice things to say about his time with Matt Riddle, until the actual severity of Viper's injuries were revealed by his father, Bob Orton Jr., nobody knew that he had been dealing with a nagging injury, and a serious one that went from nagging to, oh wow, this could mean you're not going to wrestle again. Orton directly credited Riddle for being the man to carry the team. If it weren't for Riddle, we may not have gotten to see those epic moments that they had together. On the Impulsive podcast, Orton told Logan Paul, "I've got to give props because that year we tagged together. I was not able to be in that ring unless I was in there with someone like him, because he was able to take the brunt of the physicality. Tag me, I come in and do my shit." Who knows what would have happened if Randy Orton didn't have to take such a long time off. He was out of the ring for nearly 18 months, and yeah, there was doubt of whether or not he would actually get back in the ring. They probably would have been slotted right back together, or maybe eventually they would have broken up, being able to have the revenge angle. One brother turns on the other. Oh, that would have been something, right? We all thought at some point maybe Randy Orton would have really hit that RKO that broke a heart and maybe a nose in the process. Imagine if Riddle turning on Randy Orton was the other way around. Wow, that would be something, yeah. For now, it's something we can really only imagine, and we'd love to know how you would imagine it. Let us know in the comments below, and check out more deep dive wrestling videos like this from Sportskeeda Wrestling. Also, hit the like button, bro.